Hi crypto fans, welcome to CCS Cryptocurrency State. My name is Santiago, I'm a web developer and investor, and in today's video we are going to do a Bitcoin analysis. How low can we go? What could happen with the Bitcoin price and the market in general? We are going to do 100% T8. Before we begin, please like the video, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get the notifications. Without anything else, let's go into it. Hey guys, well, I am seeing the daily chart, Bitcoin against USDT. This is the most interesting chart for me right now in terms of time frame. I am not panicking at all. I see this and I see a healthy uptrend here. We reversed the trend here on July. We're creating a new all-time high first here, a lower high here for all this downtrend, then higher high, higher low, a higher high, and we will be probably creating now a higher low. So right now, if we are high about this, you can see this yellow line is the trend line from the July, from the bottom that we hit here. So this trend line is very important right now. We held this as support here with this wick and these candles here. So I am expect some support around this area. And for me, it's significant if we break this yellow line to the downside. Right now, we can encounter here around 53. And this rectangle here is the most important right now for me. We are held in support at all levels here as support and resistance on April and May. And also was support and resistance here. When we tried to reach this again, it was resistance here. The 55, 56, and then was support 3-4 days ago too. So even if we are down again today, you are seeing this video almost 6 hours after, 7 hours after. So if we still remain above this level, we are still super healthy. I don't see any risk here. We came from these diversions on the RSI. We creating a higher high here, and the RSI was a lower high here. So we are playing that diversions, I think, and we are still super healthy here. The stochastic RSI is starting to cross, seems below the 20. You always need to wait the confirmation about the 20. So this could mean that we could continue going to the downside. So this is a bearish sign if this confirms the cross. One important thing is this line of support and resistance on the RSI. This is all from April 2021, so it's very important. We held it as resistance here, and then it was all the way here, support here, here, exactly here, here in November 19, and now we are almost touching it that. So we need to see what happened with that, if we held it as support or not. This part of the RSI coincide with exactly with the, I think, with this rectangle that I will speak now. So if we break the RSI downside here, this is at 37, so we don't have support at this trend. That could be bad, because here we can consider this almost higher lows from the end of May. Actually, even with all this downtrend, we continue holding this as support. The last downtrend here also was at support. So this trend in the RSI, daily RSI, is very important. If we see only the chart without other indicators, you can see this rectangle in May and in the last all-time high there was very important, but we held this as resistance in September. So this backup recovery was resistance, and then when we break it, you can see all the tests here as support, this line, which actually coincide with the Fibonacci extension number. Was support then. So if we break the current trend here at 55, 59, then we are going to enter into this rectangle. It's not exactly a line, but it's between 53.5 and 52.5. So $1,500 here. And this is very, very significant for me. I will show you why, because the 100 moving average also coincides with this, and also will coincide this yellow trend that I have been speaking as support here. So all this confluence is a support at that area. So I'm expecting a lot of support there. So if we break that, then I can see some problems. But if you see this chart also in the big scheme of things, look at this moving average. This down here, this is the 200 triple moving average, and this is what we have been fighting before, if we were in a bear market or not. And right now we are 10,000 above that level. So this is why I'm not panicking. The only moment that you can say, well, this is to be worried, is if you break down the 200 daily moving average. That is an important level. Has the same importance that the 21 weekly moving average. But right now, we just break a couple of days ago the 20, and we just break almost 3 days ago the 50. And check here the confluence with the 100, and you will see what I am saying about this. You can see how the 100 also will act maybe as support here. You can see how the 50 acted as support. Is a little smaller, but here when we break the 20, we went directly to the 50. Acted as support 2 days actually, and then we break it down. So this 100 also should be a very strong support and coincide with this rectangle. With the exponential moving average ribbon, we see a different panorama. We break it down, and right now we are below the exponential moving average ribbon, and that is always bad news. You can see here sometimes it's just a fake out, and we have this V-shaped recovery, but then we could have held it as support and we had the big breakdown. And sometimes it's just a fake out and we recover and have a rally. So you can see here this scenario, which looks quite similar what we are experiencing right now. So maybe we have a couple of candles here, and with this ribbon start to turn bearish, means that the yellows moving average start to go down. Maybe it's the best time to break it easily is there, because you have only one point of confluence there. So something like this could happen. That is something that I will be watching, but it's bad news right now. In terms of the weekly candles, the exponential moving average is still down here. We never tested yet, and you can see how the last daily candle closed it above these other support areas. So you can see how we close it around 59, and if we extend the line there, you can see how this is a 0.236 Fibonacci extension there, but you can see all these previous close in the past, all acted as resistance, resistance, resistance. All this way was resistance, but for us it was actually just their support on the last daily weekly candle. Right now we are below that, but this weekly candle didn't close yet, so it just started. So we could be recovering and close above that. That is the most bullish scenario. Going down maybe to 53 and get a retracement and go back up here. That will be super bullish, because we will get a very big wick here, and that will mean support and buyers. And if we close above 59, this current weekly candle is super bullish. But the close that we have 2 days ago is very important, and this was support. So for now, this also looks bullish. In terms of the moving average, again, the 21 weekly moving average is down here at 50.49. So we are still above that level. We need to see tomorrow, today when you see this video, where we are. But right now, at the time that I'm recording, this is nothing to worry. We could easily hold support here, or maybe chop around a couple of days and go up. But again, in the daily candle, I have this yellow line, so that is important. The stochastic RSI is currently very bullish on the weekly candle, but yeah, you could expect more downside based on these two indicators only. The fear and greed index is a 50 neutral. I would like to see some panic here on this chart before be completely sure that we hit this local bottom that we are experiencing. So I hope really that we go a little into fear on the fear and greed index. We were super extremely greedy for too much, So I will expect in this down to go into lower levels on the fear and greed index. We have a couple of back here, but I will expect more exposure to the fear. Before we continue with the video, remember that I am doing an amazing giveaway. I will be giving half of a Bitcoin to one winner and 5 Ethereum to 5 different winners. If you want to participate, it's super easy, just a couple of clicks. Follow the link in the description. But remember that you need to be subscribed to the channel with the bell on to be considered. Back into the daily candles, we can see that the TD sequential already comment an 8 on the downside here on this downtrend, and you know that we can go from 1 to 9 and then usually this need to be reseated, so we could see some uptrend here after hitting maybe one more down candle here, and after a 9 have some recovery. Of course, it's not always from 1 to 9, so we could just hit a couple of breakout to the upside here and then going back again. But it's a good sign that we are already an 8 on the TD sequential, which means that maybe we are in the last part of this downtrend. This is significant for me. It's not any value here. You don't usually get to an 8 if we are not in the downtrend, so it's important. The MACD is still bearish, no signs of reversal here. We had the signs of reversal here in histographic, but now we are again completely red. And the money flow index is actually really low at 24, so this is still bearish. Daily Gaussian channel still is bullish, but we are inside the channel, and that is always bad news. Usually in a green zone, in an uptrend, you want to be above the Gaussian channel. Usually when you are inside, it's a bad news, and more time you pass inside, that will mean that maybe you turn bearish. And if the daily turn bearish, I really think that is a big bad news, and we can see a very big downtrend like here. At this point, you can see here when turned bearish, we have this downtrend, but that doesn't mean that here we needed to go bearish. But this turned red with the next candle, and the rest is history here. And a very big bearish downtrend here is the alligator. I will close this so you can see it. The alligator is already bearish. The green one is now below the red and the blue one. So we can see that in this case, for example. So we need a very big move up to the upside to reverse that quickly. That happened here. So we could see a scenario similar to this. I think this is a very big possibility to happen also here, that we get something similar to that in this scenario. Something to play here. If we get some time here with a couple of candles here, and then we break to the upside here, getting these areas of major support, that will be something similar to this fractal. So that is a possible scenario for me. And the Bollinger Bands are marking really a big downtrend here. You can see how this part of the mouth of the Bollinger Band is still going upside. It's not curving like this, meaning that maybe this is the end of this downtrend. So usually if the mouth continue going like this, that means that we still are in the middle of the movement. So that doesn't mean that we are in the bottom yet. The down part of the band should be start to curving here in order to serialize that maybe this is the end. But right now it's not the case, so according to this indicator we still could see more downtrend. This is the Bitcoin dominance, and this is also a very important chart. When we were completely bullish, I told that I saw this double bottom formation was super bullish, and I was expecting to go at least to 49, and from there maybe started an altcoin season, or the best scenario here 60. But we couldn't do that, and Bitcoin is bleeding also, so we only get to the 0.236, which is not the level that I was expecting. So now we are in the low territories again. We are at 42, and maybe we could go down again into 39 or 50 or 40. So the Bitcoin dominance is important right now, because if Bitcoin continues bleeding, the altcoins also will bleed at this stage. Only a couple metaverse coins are still pumping, like Gala in the video that I showed before, but only very specific cases are pumping. The rest of the market is bleeding actually, and will continue doing that if Bitcoin dominance don't start to go up again, because it's not the scenario of an altcoin season right now. Right now, even the loss of dominance in Bitcoin means loss of dominance in the whole market. It's not an altcoin season. So guys, just to recap, daily candles are what is more awkward for me right now. Let's see, when you see this video, if we are below 56, then I need to watch from 53.5 to 52.5 actually. This is the more important area, with a 100 moving average of support also, and this yellow downtrend here, and this yellow trend here. So that will be the thing that I will be watching, this area. If we are above that, for me, we are still super healthy. I am not panicking at all. So below 52,500, then I will start to be worried and see what actions I could take. But for now, I'm not selling any position. Actually, this is the best time to just accumulate and see if you can enter into a market with lower prices. Maybe checking another altcoins that are bleeding more than Bitcoin, good coins and tokens to invest. That is what I am doing, trying to invest in new metaverse projects from many blockchains, trying to enter into different private sales, and putting my investments to work in the near future. That will be all for the video, guys. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to get the notifications, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.